Coach MacIntyre.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? I just want to talk a second about Eldridge Pete Mitchell, the first minority coach in the history of the program here at Memphis. And he was a trailblazer. And then also what a great thing he was here in the community. I've heard a lot of things about him here in the community and what he's done. And so we're sad that we lost a great Tiger last Friday. So I'll take any questions from here.
Frank and Terry.
Hey, Mike, you doing all right?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
The NCAA stats has got Greg Rubin #1 in the country in passes defended, which means that offenses are throwing his way a lot. As a true freshman, how do you feel he's handling that from different teams?
He's doing really well as a true freshman. We've played 2 pass-happy football teams, so there's a lot of balls in the air right now. But I was teasing him today. I said a couple of those PBUs were just dropped interceptions. I was just kind of messing with it to keep motivating him. But no, he's played for a true freshman to be under the pressure of the passing games that we're seeing the last 2 football games. I thought that he handled it well, and I still think that he's going to be I think he's a good player. I think he can be an excellent player in the future as he keeps maturing and keeps growing in his knowledge of the game. But he has that ability to has great vision, ability to flip the hips, and ability to judge a ball. And those are key ingredients to being an excellent DB. And, throwing him out there as a true freshman shows you that he has the ability to do it. He also had some excellent coaching in high school and on his 7-on-7 team. They had some really good coaching there and some really good players that he's played against. So that's sometimes what you're seeing more and more is all these kids playing all these 7-on-7 teams. They're playing against really good talent. So their ball skills, they're judging a ball, make it better for the DB, but it also makes it a lot better for the receiver and the quarterback because they're throwing all the time. So it's kind of a give and take. But yeah, I'm really proud of what he's done and expect him to be a really good player here for a long time.
And I know coming into the season, you talked about how players are just a little bit more comfortable in the system and everything in the second year. Now that you guys have played for 3 games, what have you seen from your defense?
Well, I've seen some really good points and I've seen some really tough points, and I've seen them. The thing that I keep saying about these young men that I just love coaching them, and I said it last year too, they just have a fight to them. They just have a belief to them. They just keep playing. It might look ugly and then they're making a play. Then they might play really well. The whole team's that way. There's no doubt about it. But I'm with the defensive guys all the time, and they just keep fighting, keep playing. And, the way the games change, you definitely want to hold everybody to 0. There is no doubt about it. I get ticked every time they catch a ball, every time they do anything. But our job at the end of the day is to keep them 1 point less than they score. And you see that every Saturday in college football. But I'm really proud of these guys, and I've got to keep coaching them better. And they're responding, and we'll keep improving and keep playing hard. And so hopefully we play a team again that throws it 67 times in one game, but we'll see.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, what's up, Coach? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Hey, what one area concerns you about this San Antonio team?
They're really powerful running game. I mean, they're big up front, but here's the key. If you look at their depth chart, their 2 tight ends that play a lot for them, are over 6'3", and they're 275 pounds. So they're just big offensive tackles. So the power of their running game. Also, their quarterback is extremely athletic. He's a true dual threat quarterback. He can throw it. He can run it. He's athletic. So he puts a lot of pressure on you because it's kind of 11-on-11 football. You have to account for him in the run game and the way he can throw it. They've got 2 excellent receivers that make a lot of plays for them, number 4 and number 2. Big play type guys. So I think they're a really balanced offense with big strike ability. And, of course, their tailback was player of the year in their conference, and he's an excellent player. So I think their overall offense is 180 degrees different than what we played last week. Last week it was throwing it all the time. This week they're going to pound the rock and try to hit us on shots and different things like that. So it's a total different game plan. That's the way it is in college football.
Evan?
2 things for me, Mike. Kind of going off of that note. You mentioned their running game, obviously, Sincere McCormick's their guy. You mentioned you guys have dealt with passing attacks, but how do you kind of shift that now to being more focused on stopping the run? with
Right.
a like him?
Well, number one, you've got to be run sound. You always hear coaches say that, but it's gaps. So the thing that they do when they go their 2 tight end stuff, they shift the tight end, they overload it. So you've got to shift your front. And so our communication out there handling all that. So we're shifting our front to be in the right gaps and our backers fitting it right, which JJ and Pick and Zay and those guys really know how to do that. They understand what our scheme up front. So that's going to be the key, being able to fit up the run correctly, be able to shift when they shift their linemen or shift their back to understand where they're running the football. And then our secondary being able to be really eye conscious and don't get caught on any eye candy for deep shots.
For these last 2 games, I know you guys were, you rushed 3 a lot, you dropped 8 in coverage. What's kind of the mindset? I mean, I'm not trying to give too much away, but like, what's kind of the mindset with that? Is it more trying to, have more guys in coverage to stop the pass, or what's kind of the philosophy behind that?
Right. If in the game Saturday, if you watch it, we mix it up constantly. We brought 4, we brought 5, we brought 3. And then when you're playing Mike Leach's system, he's trying to hit all these deep over routes all the time. That's where he's trying to get it. So if you rush 4 and they're able to hold it, there's a hole in those over routes. So when you drop 8, you're able to hold off and then they dump it down the back. And like I said, going into the game, how we tackled their backs would be the difference in our football game. And I thought we tackled them well. And so we were able to mix it up and act like we were dropping, bring them, drop off. You just can't play one thing against what he does. And, we had the one play there at the end of the game was very disheartening, but then like I said, that's kind of the microcosm of these kids. We get beat on a deep ball, right? And they turn around and got to stop them on 2-point play and they play it perfect and stop them. I love their resiliency.
And then last for me, Greg, obviously, was there a moment where he kind of impressed you a little bit, maybe in the preseason or the spring? Was there something that he kind of did to kind of stand out early?
Yeah, he impressed me in the spring with his, I've kind of explained it before, you can put a point guard, you can have guys dribble and shoot, and you put a guy out there to be a point guard. Only certain people can play point guard, right? They can see the floor, they can do it. So you'll go scrimmage and you'll go, oh, that guy can't see it real well. Oh, he'd be a 2 guard. That guy can see it all. He should be our point guard. When we threw Greg out there in some team activities, I could tell that he could feel where the receiver were, what the back was, what was in his area, the closing ability of the receiver. So I noticed his innate instincts pretty quick. And that's what I think that he has is so good.
Terry and then Clayton.
Hey, Coach, there's been a renewed emphasis on targeting. So how do you keep your guys from doing what they need to do so they don't be on the sideline with you?
Right. We work on targeting all the time in our tackling drills. We call it tiger tackle. We are trying to aim for the thigh hip area. We are keeping our head up. We're hitting with the shoulder. It's more like a rugby tackle. We have these things called donuts that we roll and the kids tackle those. And so all that, when I was on some committees, when I was a head coach, I was pushing hard. I think the targeting rule is good, but I keep saying it's not right. And here's what I mean by that. Okay. Is if I go in the game and it's the first minute of the game and I get a targeting, I'm out for 59 minutes. But if I get a targeting the last minute of the half, I'm only out for 31 minutes. That's not fair. That's not right. Also, the targeting that happened when they first put the targeting rule in, the reason we put it in the college football is because people were launching in the air, trying to hit receivers in the head as they were catching the ball. That was the first reason for it. Okay. Also, when they hit the quarterback, they were hitting him high all the time. Okay. And now we've got it where you can't hit the quarterback low. You can barely hit him, which is fine. I understand. But when the guy's coming to run and a running back ducks his head and you're trying to go low so you don't hit him in the head, it's a weird deal that happens. So like Savante Saturday, I understood why they called targeting, but he was trying to go low, like he's told to do, and the running back went low and he grazed off of him. I don't know what else I can tell the kid except, he tried to keep his head up. He tried to do what we were telling him. So that's where I think everybody in the stands was going, wait a minute. To me, that wasn't a vicious target. That should be a 15-minute foul, if you call it a foul, which I'm fine with. And he should sit over there for 15 minutes. But he shouldn't miss the rest of the game. I don't think. Now, if he launches in the air and a guy's on the sidelines and he ducks his head and he hits him right underneath the chin and it's on purpose, yes, he should be ejected. So I think that we need to reevaluate that for these young men. I do not think yes, they should have called it on Savante, but no, it was not what I would call a severe targeting rule that he was doing everything wrong. If that makes sense. I gave you a long answer, but I really truly believe in that.
Yeah, that's what I really want for you. And I knew you would have a drill called donuts. I spent the lesson.
Yeah, I just don't need to eat them I don't need to eat many donuts. That's my problem.
All right, Clayton.
Hey, just one more on Greg.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that he didn't have a football season for his senior year at White Station, I mean, were you expecting there to be a little bit of a learning curve? Was there, you know, or how? It seems like he just really jumped right in. So
right, yeah, the season, missing the season definitely was concerning to us. But he played on a 7-on-7 team that played games all the time. And so he was still doing all the ball skills and the covering skills and all that, just the physical aspect he hadn't done in a while. And I think him able to come in January and go through spring practice helped him accelerate that. I think if he wouldn't have came in January, he wouldn't be out there playing right now as much. So coming and going through spring practice and everything, I think caught him up as far as the physical aspect.
All right. Thank you, Coach MacIntyre.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.